and gentlemen, welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed podcast, hosted by my dad, the BeerDad, the most awesomest dad around. Cheers, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed podcast, episode 3, just as promised, Octoberfest. Prost!
Goldenen Weins, aber am schönsten ist eins. In München steht ein Hofbräuhaus, 1, 2, super! Da läuft so manches Fässchen aus, 1, 2, super! Da hat so mancher brave Mann, 1, 2, super! Gezeigt, was vertragen kann. Schon früh am Morgen fing an und spät am Abend.
I don't know about you guys, but that music really makes me want to have a beer in my hand, buddies around the table, and just singing, drinking, and having a great time. That's what Oktoberfest really is all about to me, and that's what I got to experience when I went with my brother and my friend and my uncle. It was one of the most amazing experiences I ever had. And I will talk about it later in the show with you. And we'll have some fellas over and we're going to drink some beers, have a good time, hopefully have some more music playing for you guys. We might even participate in a little game. But for now, I'd like to go over some history. Crown Prince Ludwig, later the King Ludwig, married Princess Therese of Saxe-Hildenburghausen on October 12, 1810. The citizens of Munich were invited to attend the festivities held on the fields in front of the city gates to celebrate the royal event. The fields were named Theresienwiese, which means Therese's Meadow, in honor of the crown princess, and have kept that name ever since, although the locals have since abbreviated the name simply to the Wiesen. Horse races in the tradition of the 15th century, Scarlet Race at Karlster, were held in October 18. To honor the newlyweds, it widely understood that Andreas Michael Dale Army, a major in the National Guard, proposed the idea. However, the origins of the horse races and Oktoberfest itself may have stemmed from proposals offered by Franz Baumgartner, a coachman and sergeant in the National Guard. The precise origins of the festival and horse races remain a matter of controversy. However, the decision to repeat the horse races spectacle and celebrations in 1811 launched what is now the annual Oktoberfest tradition. The fairground, once outside the city, was chosen due to its natural suitability. The Settinger Hill was used as a grandstand for 40,000 race spectators. Festival grounds remained undeveloped except for the King's Tent. The tastings of Tretchers and other wine and beer took place above the visitors in the stands on the hill. Before the race started, a performance was held in homage of the bridegroom and of the royal family in the form of a train of 16 pairs of children dressed as Wittelsbach costumes and costumes from the then 9 Bavarian townships and other regions. This was followed by the punishing race with 30 horses on an 11,200-foot long racetrack, and concluded with the singing of a student choir. The first horse to cross the finish line belonged to Franz Baumgartner. Horse racing champion and Minister of State Maximilian von Montagelis presented Baumgartner with his gold medal. In 1811, a show was added to promote Bavarian agriculture. 1813, the festival was cancelled due to the involvement of Bavaria in the Napoleonic Wars, after which the Oktoberfest grew from year to year. The horse races were accompanied by tree climbing, bowling alleys, swings, and other attractions. In 1818, carnival booths appeared. The main prizes awarded were of silver, porcelain, and jewelry. The city fathers assumed responsibility for festival management in 1819, and it was decided that Oktoberfest become an annual event. In 1832, the date was moved some weeks later as a Greek delegation came. It inspired them for the Zappos Olympics, which became 1896 the modern Olympic Games. Later, the Oktoberfest was lengthened and the date pushed forward because days are longer and warmer at the end of September. The horse race continued until 1960. Agriculture show still exists today and is held every 4 years in the southern part of the festival grounds. To honor the marriage of Prince Ludwig and Therese of Saxe-Hildenburghausen, parade took place for the first time in 1810. Since 1850, the parade has become an annual event and an important component of the Oktoberfest. 8,000 people, mostly from Bavaria and dressed as traditional costumes, walk from Maximilian Street through the center of Munich to the Oktoberfest grounds. The march is led by Münchner Kindl. Since 1850, the statue of Bavaria has watched over the Oktoberfest. The worldly Bavarian patron was sketched by Leo von Klintz, a classic style, and Ludwig Michael Schwantler romanticized and Germanized the draft. The statue was constructed by Johann Baptist Stigmaler and Ferdinand von Miller. In 1853, the Bavarian Ruhmeshalle was completed. In 1854, the festival was canceled after 3,000 residents of Munich, including the Queen Consort, died during the cholera epidemic. There was no Oktoberfest in 1866 because Bavaria was involved in the Austro-Prussian War. In 1870, the Franco-Prussian War again forced the cancellation of the festival. 1873, the festival was canceled due to yet another cholera epidemic. In 1880, electric light illuminated more than 400 booths and tents. In 1881, booths selling bratwurst opened. The first beer was served in glass mugs in 1892. At the end of the 19th century, a reorganization took place. Until then, there were games of skittles, large dance floors, trees for climbing for the beer booths. Organizers wanted more room for guests and musicians, which resulted in the booths becoming beer halls, which are still used today. In 1887, the parade of the Oktoberfest staff and breweries took place for the first time. This event showcases the splendidly decorated horse teams of the breweries and the brands that play in the festival tents. This event always takes place on the first Saturday of Oktoberfest and serves as the official prelude to the Oktoberfest celebration. At the 100th anniversary of Oktoberfest in 1910, an estimated 120,000 liters of beer were consumed. 3 years later, the Brauhaus was founded, which at that time was the largest pavilion to have ever built, accommodating approximately 12,000 people. Due to World War I, Oktoberfest was temporarily suspended 1914 to 1918. 2 years after the war, 1919 to 1920, Oktoberfest was replaced by a so-called Kleineres Herbstfest, which can be translated as a smaller autumn celebration. In 1923 and 1924, the Oktoberfest was canceled due to hyperinflation. During National Socialism, Oktoberfest was used as part of the Nazi propaganda. In 1933, Jews were forbidden to work on the Wiesn. 2 years later, Oktoberfest's 125th anniversary was celebrated with all the frills. The main event was a big parade. The slogan, "Proud City, Cheerful Country," was meant to show the alleged overcoming of differences between social classes and can be seen as an example of the regime's consolidation of power. In 1938, after Hitler had annexed Austria and won the Sudetenland via the Munich Agreement, Oktoberfest was renamed to Großdeutsches Volksfest, Greater German Folk Festival. And as the showing of strength, the Nazi regime transported people from Sudetenland to the Wiesn by the score. During World War II, from 1939 to 1945, no Oktoberfest was celebrated. Following the war, from 46 to 48, Munich celebrated only the Autumnfest. The sale of proper Oktoberfest beer, 2% stronger in gravity than normal beer, was not permitted. Guests could only drink normal beer. Since its foundation, there's been 24 years in which Oktoberfest was not celebrated. Beginning in 1950, the festival has always been opened with the same traditional procedure. At noon, a 12-gun salute is followed by the tapping of the first keg of Oktoberfest beer by the mayor of Munich with the proclamation of "O Zaptis," it's tapped, in the Austro-Bavarian dialect. The mayor then gives the first liter of beer to the minister-president of the state of Bavaria. The first mayor to tap the keg was Thomas Wimmer. Before the festival officially starts, parades are held with the traditional marksmen's clubs, beer tent waitresses, and landlords participating. Actually, there are two different parades, which both end on the Thursday. They start around 9:45 a.m. to 10:50 a.m. During Oktoberfest, some locals wear Bavarian hats, which contain a tuft of chamois hair. Historically in Bavaria, Chamois hair was highly valued and prized. The more tufts of hair on one's hat, the wealthier one was considered to be. Due to modern technology, the tradition has declined with the appearance of chamois hair imitations on the market. So, some good history. Let's talk about more recent. So we said 100 and something thousand liters were drank. Let's just go recently, 2013. Instead of 100 something thousand liters, 7.7 million liters were served at Octoberfest in 2013. That was just 6 years ago. Imagine what it is today. I'm really excited to share the history of Oktoberfest with you. I apologize to my German friends and family if I butchered some of the German names. It is part of my heritage, but I did my best, and I'm glad I was able to give you the history. Today's show is going to be great. We're going to have some German beer. We're going to talk about German beer. We might play a little German beer drinking game, so I hope you enjoy the show. Prost. 1, 2, zipper! Cheers, buddy. Cheers. Prost. Oh, man, I needed that drink. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed podcast. As always, your host, the BeerDad himself, Justin Allen. And I am joined by my good friend, Jose Orozco. He is a paramedic extraordinaire, flies on those whirly birds, and he is also a beer dad himself. And, of course, my guest, as always, Mr. Joshua Kunkel, who is here and has brought some tasty German beverages that he brewed himself. And you guys know this is the Oktoberfest episode, so we are drinking nothing but German beer here today. Some home brewed, some craft brewed, as well as some stuff straight from Germany. So we're pretty excited about that. So right now we are actually starting off with some of Josh's home brew. Josh, what are we drinking?
So this is my rendition of a German Pilsner. Pretty straightforward. 2 ingredients. You got Pilsner malt, Carapils, some basic hops, Hallertau and Mittelfrüh, which are German noble hops. So just throw it in, let it ferment about 50, 55 degrees like your traditional lager, and then voila, 6 weeks later, here we go.
Nice.
So what do you guys think? I don't know. I got Jose. Feedback.
I'll get another quick sip.
Yeah, I'm thirsty. Let's do that.
Yep.
It's good. Honestly, to me, this is more like a summer type beer. For me, any type of Pilsner has always been more like a summertime beer just because you can drink it all day. It's refreshing, especially this type of beer. Cold temperatures really do its justice behind it. So hot summer days, I think Pilsners. Obviously, other types of beers. Warmer temperatures, which are better for winter, like Guinness, which is one of my favorite. 55. I always keep my Guinness at 55 because that's the recommended temperature to kind of really drink it at. And it's enjoyed more in the wintertime for me, but I drink it year round, and I still keep it at 55. But summertime, Pilsners are my go-to when I really want a nice cold beverage on a hot day. I would say your standard Pilsner, this goes really well.
Thank you. And of course, in the German tradition, they also like to drink these around 50, 55 cellar temp.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's a different experience, and I can tell you. Obviously, you guys know I was at the source, and the lighter nature of the Pilsner or some of the Marzens, that the beers that they make there for the fest are, in my opinion, of lighter nature. However, if you actually, taste them, we actually have a couple of them here today. Even though they're of lighter nature compared to what we're used to here in the States, they're a lot higher alcohol content. But you're still able to drink them, and they drink them out of those liter steins over there, and you get to drinking them, and whew,
well, that's the thing. I'm pretty impressed with this beer. Is like this beer drinks pretty light, both flavor and alcohol, but you'd be hard pressed to believe that this is almost 6.5%, maybe almost 7%.
I can't even taste it.
Yeah. No, a lot of these beers you start swigging on, and they're refreshing, and they go down easy, and just got a nice crisp flavor.
Yeah.
And then you look at the bottle and you're like, oh shit. what
did I do?
Yeah. Well, especially there when you're drinking them by the liters.
Yeah.
You know, those first couple are not too bad because, you know, you're thirsty, you're having a good time, you're walking, or a lot of walking over in Europe and kind of, you know, work up a thirst. So it's not that bad. But then after about the third or fourth liter, it starts to hit you a little bit. You know, obviously with that amount in your system, not only does it hit you to the point where you gotta, you know, you've got a lot in your system, right? But boy, do you have to piss. Let me tell you something. Over there, they have the bathrooms. They don't call them bathrooms, toilets. They call them water closets, okay? And I've never had to piss and use a water closet so bad in all my life until Oktoberfest. I had 7 liters of a mix of all the different fest beers, and we were taking a tour, and I thought I was gonna die. I really did. Me and actually my good friend Chris, he was in the same situation as I, and there's a video floating around where we're walking around the festival with our tour guide, and all you hear is Chris and I screaming out, "Water closet! I need the water closet," because that's all we cared about at that point. Yeah. And
like, screw the castle. I want the water.
So we went through a few different tents and got to, you know, check out some things, and then finally, we get to a water closet, and it was like Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own. I pissed for like 5-6 minutes straight.
Oh, that's it.
Oh man, it was an amazing feeling.
Rosie O'Donnell with.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Gina Davis.
Yeah. No, wasn't
Madonna.
Madonna. There you go. Yeah. Them tiny
Yeah.
him just taking that long piss.
Yeah,
Great
he just
scene.
walks in there, and that was me. and you know, I was getting a couple eyeballs in there. It's like one of those, you know, it's Europe, so it's the water closet at the festival was like an open trough in like a tent. So, you know, you're standing there, and there's all these dudes staring at you, and, you know, it's like, they're like, man, that guy's still going. he's having a good time. But and it's crazy too. As much as I went from that experience with the water closet, it was like you broke the seal, and then that was it. It was like, where is all this liquid coming from? Because I had to hit the water closet several times after that.
Yeah. See, this is why it's important if you're going to be going to those. You need to know somebody medically who can install a full catheter.
Oh, well.
Even though it's going to be painful when they insert it right off the back, but then you're going to go straight to drinking, and then you don't have to worry about the water closet.
This is what I thought is if, you know, say we brought our medical stuff that, you know, we're familiar with. Right. Let's say we hooked ourselves up with a Foley catheter and dual IVs.
Oh, man.
I think we probably could drink, I'm going to say 25 to 30 liters of beer, no problem, with no reaction and nothing. We'd have to probably empty our Foley bag a couple times.
Probably.
But I don't think we would get drunk. I don't think we would have a hangover.
Probably go all day.
It'd be an amazing experience.
You look like the Terminator of beer, though.
People are like, oh my God, look at this. He doesn't even go to the bathroom.
Yeah. The Germans would be like, what the hell? Where'd these guys come from? Come drink with me.
Like, I thought you guys had a boot somewhere.
Yeah, this is, oh man. Yeah.
Someone took that Beer Fest movie way too serious.
That's a good idea. Well, this was good. So what are we calling this German beer that you made?
I decided on the name Pilfer Pills. Sort of play on words. Not sure where or how I came to that, but needed something.
How are you spelling it? Still as it sounds, or
like pill, P-I-L-L, and then F-O-R, and then pills. It's supposed to be kind of a play on words for pilfering.
I like it.
Yeah, so Pilfer Pills.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be bringing up 5 gallons of this to an Octoberfest this Saturday, October 12th, and definitely going to have some fun up there. A guy I know, he's like brewing machine. You know, the guy's been doing it for 30 years. He got together with his local community center up there, and they do an Octoberfest fundraiser. Yeah. And he makes all the beers, all German varieties. He's got like Dortmunder. He's got the Marzen beers. He's got a couple of apple ciders even. But I worked with him over the past couple of years with doing the Pilsner because he was so impressed with, you know, the Pilsner I did. Yeah. He wanted me to maybe throw that in there. And it usually goes like gangbusters because a lot of people are used to their Budweisers and Coors and stuff like that.
Let's crack one open here.
All right. You want to go start with the German side of things, or you want to go with the craft side of things?
Let's go straight to the source. Let's start Germany.
Right.
So we have 3 of the official Octoberfest beers here. Here. Right here I got. It's on the...
that's right.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Here's a special installation on his cabinets.
Yes. Nice.
Boom. Sweet. So we're going to start here with the big dude, the big guy, Hofbrau. Jose pouring on next to the microphone for special effects. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it makes you thirsty. You hear that?
Hopefully it doesn't make you do one of the things.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially after your story of the water closet.
Water closet. You guys are going to be wanting a water closet when we're done here. You guys should see this lineup of beers we got sitting over here.
So, is this one bought in the States or is this brought?
This one, I bought this one in the States.
So, I'm guessing the alcohol content is a little bit lower than what you would get in Germany.
It could be. It depends. Is this a Hofbrau Fest beer or is this their original brew? Okay, so this is their original. So their Fest beer would be a little higher, I believe.
Yeah. Because I know,
let me see that real quick.
unless someone wants to correct me, but anything coming in from out of country, they lower their alcohol content just because they're taxed more. I mean, same concept for our beer. I know Coors here is like, 4.2, but if you buy it in Canada, it's like 4. It's like 2% less. And I think same concept happens.
So the Hofbrau original is...
yeah, but I know that. Like if
I
you buy
know certain countries have different standards when it
Right.
comes to taxation. So
I know, and I only know that because also Guinness.
yeah.
They lower their alcohol content when it's brought over to the States. So I'm guessing it's maybe the same.
So this is a 5.1, and if I'm not mistaken, Josh, if you look at the Hacker Shore and the Polliner that we have, those are actual Fest beers.
Yeah, 5.8 for Hacker Store.
So they're a little stronger.
Yeah, I'm looking at 6 for Polliner.
Yeah, so this will be a little on the lighter side, but it should still be good. Hofbrau makes good beer.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more of the spicy note, smell.
It's a Munich beer.
A bit more, yeah.
So, as always, brewed with the German purity law.
Yes.
Right?
The Reinheitsgebot.
Yep, that's right.
That's beautiful. Is that French?
When they were taking over.
Maybe, yeah. There may be some French influence. You never know.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe you're supposed to eat this for French bread. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it is yeast.
It's true.
So, Prost.
Prost. And
Let's do this. It takes me back. It really does. I being over there, the first time we got onto a train and we were on our way from Amsterdam to Germany, we had a German beer. And I want to say the first beer we had over there, that a German beer, because we had some beers in Amsterdam that were, from the Netherlands. But the first German beer that we had, I believe, was Ettinger.
nice.
It was on the train. That was like, I guess they sponsored the train that we were on, the bullet train or whatever that thing's called. We had one of those private Muscusi rooms, and so like a waiter comes and he takes your order, and we ordered pretzels and the Ettinger. We were a little disappointed they weren't in liter glasses, because we were just expecting the minute you order a German beer, that's what it comes in.
Comes in the mug.
So that wasn't until later. So our first stop in Germany for a night was Frankfurt. And in Frankfurt, we went to Polliner has a restaurant there.
Oh, nice.
And we went to the restaurant there, and we had the 1 liter stein of beers, which was nice, as well as good food. And that was where I first got to taste the Haxen pork we were talking about.
Yeah.
And then that just killed it for me, because that's pretty much all I ever ordered over there in Germany, because it was so good. Jose, you would have loved this shit. It was like carnitas and smoked pork and chicharrones all had like a big orgy. It was all 3 of those like combined. It was amazing. I mean, just pull it right off the bone. It had a crunchy, crispy outside, had like a nice smoked flavor, but then it had that juicy tenderness of the carnitas. it was like, dude, it was ridiculous.
Well, after you told me about it, I looked it up, and I was just like, man, that actually doesn't look that hard to make either.
Yeah.
Like, but it just sounds awesome.
Oh man, it's good. In every place I had it, it was amazing. Of course, one, and I'll talk about it later, was better than the others, but still good everywhere that I had it. And it kind of ruined me because, you know, I had this grand vision that I was going to go over there and eat a shitload of like brats and you know sauerkraut and this and that, and I had my fair share. But every place we went to that was like a nice German restaurant, that's what I ordered because it was so good.
Yeah.
So a lot different from that October festival we went down in San Diego a couple years ago.
Oh, that thing in El Cajon couldn't even
compare.
Put a pimple on the butt of the real deal. Let me tell you, for people
because I thought that was a pretty good festival. And,
no, not
maybe
even
it was just
close.
the amount of alcohol that I had that
Well,
night.
you know, it's probably good for where it's at.
Right.
I mean, it's El Cajon. It's a smaller city east of San Diego, and
Right.
they probably think they got a good thing going there. But it's a small little lot. It's not too crazy, and there are way better Oktoberfest here in Southern California that you could go to. Obviously, I've been to the Big Bear one. That's a huge one. Everybody goes to that one, and it's up there on par. The only obvious difference is you have to pay to go, which over in Germany, you don't pay to get into Oktoberfest. You walk right into the festival. You pay for your beers.
Yeah.
They're not free. Well, unless you make friends, and then you end up buying your beers.
Big Bear was last week, right?
I think they usually
did 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, 2
on the
weeks?
weekends. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I think
The last weekend was the last one.
I want to say you're correct. Yeah, it's either that or this weekend's the
Because
last
I've
one.
been wanting to go to one, but I
Yeah.
missed it.
So the best all-time one for all my listeners, if you'd like to know, I have not personally gone yet. I would like to go one of these days. Maybe these fellas would be interested. I know my brother is. But you gonna be all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's a tickle. Small tickle.
Yeah. So Alpine Village in Torrance, California, out by LA.
Yeah.
It's a legit like German village, and they do like a huge Oktoberfest, and it's supposed to be the closest to the real deal Holyfield. So I would like to check that out one day, just to give it a whirl. So if you guys are interested, but we don't have to go for Oktoberfest. We can just go check it out year round. It's open year round. They just do a big hoopla for Oktoberfest.
Right.
But you can go there year round, and they have a restaurant, and you can get beer and stuff there. They got like little village shops that you can buy like
Maybe we'll
hats.
do a
and,
podcast there one.
maybe hell, fuck, that's a good idea. Cheers,
Right.
pros. Yeah. Good. Well, you know,
we'll plan a day and-
I've thought about, you know, because it's out in that area. Monkish Brewing is out there, and I'd like to go out there and maybe do something with the Monkish guys, and maybe we can fit something in and check out Alpine Village because it's close.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there's definitely some good breweries in the Torrance area. Monkish being one of them, and
Monkish and the
make a
Dudes.
day of it,
I think the Dudes is out there.
It kind of almost sounds like Santa Village.
got I think Three Weavers.
Three Weavers are right around the corner from Monkish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that sounds like we might have a good time with that. So back to this beer, the Hofbrau.
Yes.
Jose, what do you think of Hofbrau?
First time having it.
Okay.
I've never had it before. I would say compared to the other, I would say traditional Oktoberfest beers that I've had, different from the American style, I would say, of Oktoberfest type of beers. I've had the 8-bit one that we're going to have. You know, obviously my favorite one is still the Samuel Adams Oktoberfest.
A lot of people love that.
Yeah, it's got a great. My wife loves that one.
Well,
She's
you do
not much
have
of a beer drinker.
you do have a hard on for the Boston stuff.
I do. I don't know why. Maybe it's the ginger that's in my beard. For
Could be. I don't know.
Being Hispanic, there's a little bit of red in there.
I always
It's
said
kinda
you had
weird.
green blood.
That's true.
Yeah. That's
I do like Guinness. It's weird.
and you are a little tall for a Mexican, so
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you know, maybe your dad and some ginger guy got together and
5'6".
It's really weird.
5'10" and a half. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's no record for being Hispanic, but it's
still tall for Mexican.
still tall on the taller side.
Yeah.
But no, it's got this weird aftertaste. I really can't put my finger on it just because I've never had this type of I would say beer before.
I'm sure Josh can tell you what that aftertaste
Let
is.
me take one last swig of what I have here to maybe try to compare. I don't know. I'm gonna have to open up one of the American style that we have, and then compare it to this. So maybe we'll do one of the American ones next, and maybe I can kind of describe what I'm tasting, and Josh, maybe you can kind of maybe pinpoint what I'm kind of maybe.
I can tell you off the bat, it may be one of two things.
Okay.
One is the malt, because that's the thing I even noticed with this beer is you get the hop smell profile right up front. You get a little hint of the malt, but then as soon as you drink it, the hop's kind of just gone, and it's replaced by just that liquid malt kind of taste to it.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, and it's kind of like almost like a cloying sweetness.
It's not a roasted malt like
No,
you
no,
would get
no.
with
It's
your browns or your
exactly
your porters, but it's like
the Pilsner malt usually has a little bit of this like I use the term cloying sweetness, but it's like a lingering kind of sweetness that you can't really quite place. It's like not like sugary sweet. It's not. It's not fruit sweet. It's just like this like just a little bit of like tangy sweet kind of on the back end.
Yeah.
And also the other half of it that it might be is just the water. You know, like the German water typically has a lot of like calcium carbonate in it. So if you can think of like a calcium kind of flavor, you eat one of those like calcium chews or something.
Right.
You might get maybe a little bit of that.
If I think of calcium chews, I think more chalk.
Yeah.
And I don't get that chalk.
You don't get the chalk.
I don't get the chalk behind it.
Because for me, I get a little bit of like the chalkiness, but it blends in with the sweetness from the grain.
Right. So let's
try something else. Why don't you open the La Quinta?
Do La Quinta? All right.
Yeah.
So
we'll go from Germany to La Quinta, California, which is in the desert close to Palm Springs and Indio area. So where Mr. Kunkel is from.
Yep.
And we've visited many times.
You know what?
It gets hot out there.
It does.
It's fucking hot out there. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, not as hot as Blythe. Well, no, sometimes it does.
Yeah.
When I was working out in Blythe, sometimes
like a few times there.
I would land in Palm Springs, and I'm like, dude, it's like hotter over here than where I just left. And you guys are a little bit higher in elevation than we are.
Yeah.
But it's
so La Quinta.
Yep.
Yeah.
Old Town La Quinta, though, it's grown very nice.
Yeah.
So this is a little darker than what we've been drinking here, guys.
So that's more of the color that I've seen with our American style of Octoberfest.
Which would be more like, Josh, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, more of the Marzen style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you look at the one that we just drank previously, that had more of a Pilsner look.
Exactly. And it may actually even fall closer towards the Pilsner scale as far as, like, style go.
Right. And that's where I'm getting that more. So when Germany, where we're supposed to be celebrating compared to the American, this almost looks like an amber red.
Yeah. So this is a Marzen beer. I called that one. I'll read this little description, give a little plug to La Quinta Brewing because I know they make some good beer, so I don't mind shouting them out. They're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, laquintabrewing.com, Palm Desert, California.
Nice location.
Autumn is a great time to enjoy this full-bodied Marzen beer. With a malty flavor and a clean finish, this traditional German style is the perfect thirst quencher for those warm days, cool nights in the desert. # make a Marzen great again.
That might upset a couple of people.
Well, you know what? Whatever. Hey, come on. This is beer. We don't care. We don't care who you like. It's beer.
Who gets political over a Marzen?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So they're part of the Independent Craft Brewers Association. I like to look for that logo on my beers, guys. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I love the artwork. They mixed a little fall, like what are those things called? What do they call these things? The
cornucopia.
Cornucopia there, but mixed with sunflowers, a huge sun. They call it the Desert Fest Marzen beer. Yep. So instead of Octoberfest, that's kind of cool.
Actually, this Saturday they're doing their own Octoberfest.
I actually saw that on their Facebook.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So Jose is having a sniff fest with these bottles.
Well, I mean, the smell in general is different.
Yeah. Well, this is.
Right.
Two different types of beer. They're both German style, but different types.
But I mean, if you were to look more of the La Quinta, it's got more of a sweet smell. Where if you go towards the German one that we drank, and I can't pronounce it because
The Hofbrau.
no. I speak
Hofbrau.
American. I don't speak that. Either way,
¿Dónde está usted?
¿dónde? Las margaritas con las señoritas. That's all you really need to know in Spanish, and you're good to go, bro.
Well, that's if you're down in the zona norte, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know why, even though it didn't taste the way, but it's got more of a skunk kind of scent. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Josh, what do you think? Smelling between the two difference.
Well, big note you're going to get on this one is the noble hops. That's probably what you're smelling right now, is just that kind of very clean, crisp, like hoppy smell. Namely, you get the Hallertau or Mittelfrüh. Those are two noble hops, though. This one smells like it also may have a hop variety called Saaz, which is in the traditional Pilsners.
Yep.
It typically has a bit of a spicy note to it, almost like a peppercorn kind of quality.
What's the content on this La Quinta
Talking about ABV?
Desert Fest? Yeah.
5.9. So definitely a little light.
It's stronger than Hofbrau, but it tastes lighter than Hofbrau.
It does.
Yeah.
So, and that's just, yeah. Yeah, whereas the Marzen traditionally has more of the sweeter, kind of like maltier kind of quality to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot sweeter smelling.
Yeah.
But I like that. I mean, I like both.
They're both good.
No.
So this La Quinta is what I'm mostly used to.
So you're used to Marzen style.
Yes.
So
Okay.
the next the fest beers. Okay, so these are beers that are actually poured at the festival in Germany. There's two different ones there. There's Paulaner, which is right up there with Hofbrau in terms of like the more popular, just bigger brewery. Everybody knows who they are. They're all over the States now. And in fact, you see Paulaner Fest during Octoberfest time here in the States in certain areas. Yeah. They make a really good beer. I compare it to Hofbrau. I want to say it's a little stronger than Hofbrau if we had the Hofbrau Fest beer, which Josh and I actually had. Yeah. It's still a little stronger, but very similar in taste. And I was telling Josh, and I'll tell other listeners today too, that when you're at Oktoberfest and you talk to the locals, and you ask them all the tents here at Oktoberfest, what's the best beer, and they'll tell you Hackershore, and you can't get into that tent. They lock it at a certain time because of fire codes. It's full by a certain time, and nobody leaves. They just stay in there. So that's more what the locals gravitate towards. The Hofbrau and Paulaner brings in a lot of the tourists because it's well known, obviously. Yeah. I mean, still make good beers, and there's still locals that are loyal to them because just like here, we have our good old boys that like their Coors Light and their Miller Lite and all that kind of crap, that we don't like. Yeah, we're more of the craft variety and the Guinness variety. Yeah. So Hackershore, I think you're gonna like that beer. Josh liked it last time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I can see why the locals definitely go for this one because compared, like you said, Paulaner and Hofbrau had very similar profiles.
Yes.
Overall between them.
Yep.
I mean, you can tell the differences obviously, and they're both very well, received. But the Hackershore just kind of bumped it up an extra notch there. So.
It's a little darker, so closer to your Marzen style beer.
I was gonna say it actually says right here Amber Marzen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's that's what they go towards for their fest beer, and it's good. But when you taste it, I want you to picture and just imagine having endless liters of that.
Yes.
Really, really good. Bless you. We got a sneezer over here. Gesundheit. All right, so let's crack open the Hackershore while we're talking about it.
Do Hackershore?
Yeah, that's good. Usually I was going to say save that for last, but I was talking about it, so we're going to drink it.
All right, here.
So
do the honors.
Yeah. Since he's got the bottle opener.
Yeah, like I said, do the honors.
All right. So Jose, you're going to enjoy the cover.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Glug, 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 glug. Let me start over here.
All right. The La Quinta one, I'll be the first one to check it in to Untap.
Nice.
Because you guys haven't done it yet.
No. Well, we know, we talked about this last time, Josh, but the BeerDad's kind of slacking on his old Untapped app.
I know he is.
I've probably drank about 1,000 beers since the last time.
I was going to say your brother actually reached out to me on the app.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Drew.
That alcoholic, Andrew. If you're listening, I know you're listening.
You know he's.
Oh, yeah.
He's better slow down though. He's got a baby on the way, so. You know, I guess the BeerDad does too, but BeerDad drinks responsibly. That's why we do beer shares, so that I can enjoy several different types of beers without killing my liver.
Yes. Yep. And I had someone drop me off.
Well, you know, we always talk about that at the end. We drink responsibly as well. So, all right. So, Hacker Shore.
By the way, I gave this a 4.
You rated the La Quinta a 4. Okay.
Right.
All right. So, Hacker Shore. We are looking here at the cover. You can see their logo. So,
Look at the smile on this bastard's face. See,
for those of you that can't see what's going on here at the BeerDad and Brewed Studios, Mr. Jose Orozco is comparing the smell to a lady part that he enjoys quite frequently. And he's got a big smile on his face.
Well, I would say it smells nice.
Okay, all right. It smells like flowers.
Flowers is what I'm trying to say, but I can't really say. I don't know how to Pictionary flowers.
Z-box.
Z-box. I guess I could say flowers. That doesn't really say like flower.
Okay.
Either way. But no, it smells nice.
Yeah, he's talking about vagina, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go ahead and taste this beer.
just throw it right in there.
First, Prost. We Prost to this Hacker Shore here. Prost. Chris Kramer, if you're listening, I know this is one of your favorites, so I hope you enjoy plugging your beer that you told us all the locals like. So
Yeah, this is definitely kicking it up a notch. I need to go find this beer some stock my shelves with this.
You like that?
That's great.
That's good, huh?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
So
it's smooth.
So this is well, you can see it. So this is the original Octoberfest. This is their fest beer, and they've been making it since 1417. Jose, in case you're wondering.
They managed to work out all the kinks and bugs.
Well, I look at it like this. It's like it really is a blend between the American and what we the other German one I can't pronounce.
Yeah, Hofbrau.
Yeah. No, it's got a very nice blend. Like you can really, the color itself obviously is different.
Yeah, but also look how clean that.
I know it looks very clean. It literally almost looks like Scotch.
So look at the cover, Jose. You got a pretty blonde riding a thoroughbred.
That is a thoroughbred.
With a beer in her hand. That's a thoroughbred.
Is that Italian?
No, she's German.
No, I'm talking about the horse.
Oh, no, German.
Well,
you guys, you'll get to hear it. You weren't here, but obviously everyone that's listening right now got to hear my history of Oktoberfest, and you can hear about how the princess there would enjoy the horse races, and that's kind of how Oktoberfest, started. So
she's riding it like a lady.
Yeah.
Legs crossed and everything.
Yeah. So
Side saddle.
I feel like when you see a hot blonde riding a horse sideways, holding a liter of beer, that means that beer is going to taste really good. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say that image comes to mind.
Yeah.
I did say it has a flower type of smell.
Mm-hmm. I think Jose was like, if that whole April Fool's thing where they were talking about making beer out of vagina yeast, I'm pretty sure Jose would be the first one to try it and check it in on Untapped. Probably. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah,
I could see it.
Yeah.
And he would really put a full blown review about it. Like he would take his time and give it a rating and a full review of his scents, his smells, his tastes. He would take his time on that one. So luckily it was a joke and it wasn't a real thing, because if it was a real thing, I'm pretty sure the health department would have a problem with it.
Huge. Not little, it's huge problem.
Yeah, just a little bit. So
what? It's fermented.
It's fermented.
Right. Yeah. It's got alcohol. It kills things.
It's aged. What do you want?
Come on.
Well, I mean, though, there are those things over in Japan that you can't purchase from vending machines.
That's a little bizarre. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure those things are aged, I guess.
I have this theory about those. For those of you guys that are wondering what the hell Jose's talking about, Japan, because they're dirty old men over there. They like to have vending machines that look like what we have over here, the little quarter machines that has a little bubble ball that pops out and you open it up and there's like a rubber ball or a little sticky hand or, whatever's in there. Over there, these vending machines have used panties. And I just have this theory that they're not really used panties. I think they take panties and they like spray like urine scents and other shit on there that people want to smell.
Ugh,
because
disgusting.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, imagine if one of these broads had, like, something gross like crabs or something like that. And these sick freaks are buying these out of the quarter machine and then, I don't think it's real.
Yeah,
I mean, it's real. They have the vending machines, but I think they're full of shit. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
You're definitely entitled to that, and you may be closer to the truth than you realize.
I think so. So Hacker Shore's some good shit, right, boys? Mm-hmm. So when you guys get to go to Octoberfest, which I'm hoping that one day we can all go, and I'd love to see everybody there on the BeerDad and Brewed podcast. God, to fucking tape a BeerDad and Brewed podcast at Octoberfest in Munich would be amazing. That's my goal. So, but we would definitely hit up the Hacker Shore tent for sure.
Oh, yeah. We want to get ourselves locked in there.
Yeah.
I think we would probably be in our 40s when that happened.
Yeah.
Financially, at least with
Yeah.
all my kids that I have and all the kids that you have now. And Josh, you might have a kid by then.
We'll see where I'm at.
Yeah.
We're working on making Josh become a beer dad. He's a unofficial official beer dad though, so he's still part of the show, and he's a good TO with the kids. So, but he's got a lady in his life, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. For now,
his baby is right here.
Yeah. This growler of beer right here is my baby.
Yeah, keep brewing that stuff because we enjoy it. So one day, guys, we'll have some Hacker Shore in Germany.
I'm looking forward to that.
That would be fucking amazing.
They've been making it since the 1400s. I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon. So.
I'm going to give it a 4 on Untapped.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 4.
You like it, huh?
I like it.
Well, I'm glad you do. I'm glad I picked that up. So,
Yeah. No.
Well, let's.
It's just not the smell, by the way. The taste, the color, everything behind it, it's very smooth as it goes down.
If you close your eyes and you drink it, you feel like you're in Germany. He's looking around right now. He's trying to figure it out. We haven't even had that much to drink yet.
I guess I gotta be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's an amazing experience.
I mean, the only time I've ever seen Germany would be in like World War II movies.
Yeah, no, it's a total different side from what That's all we see over here is the war movies.
Yeah,
but you go over there and shit, man. Everything's so clean and green. Now, this is where we were at. There's some junk in Germany. Don't get me wrong, and I'm sure my German listeners, friends of mine that I met over there, they'll tell you that not all Germany's beautiful. But most of it, what we saw was beautiful. The countryside where the Andex was at, absolutely amazing and stunning. I thought Munich was nice. They have the Olympic compound there where they had the Olympics, and they've kept it intact. It's super green, just beautiful. So
the
great place.
1972 Olympics,
yeah,
where they had that big fiasco.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So it's still the grounds are open. You can walk around and you can see all the different sites. You can go in this. We went to the stadium,
like where they blew up that helicopter with all the.
Well, we won't talk about what happened there.
Yeah.
So let's.
Either way, moving on.
Yeah, we'll go.
Oktoberfest, great.
Lost that race.
Yeah, we'll go.
Finland guy. Should we go back to the States, or we should stay in Germany?
Let's go. Let's stay in Germany.
All right.
Yeah, we'll finish up with
here. The world famous Polliner.
Yeah.
Here you go, sir. Let's see here.
All right. There we go. Let you start the pour over there.
All right. So, this is going to probably take us back to Hofbrau territory. So
it'll be a little clearer than what we just drank. It's not the Marzen.
Yep.
You can smell that malt.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yep. That's what it is. It's the malt.
It's the malt.
That's that weird.
Well, the thing you're going to notice with these beers is They're using a type of malt called Pilsner malt. Mm-hmm. Pilsner malt is about the lightest. Well, let me backtrack even further. So, malt is the grain that goes into the beer. Typically, to make that malt so that it produces the sugar for the beer, they have to roast it, similar like you roast a coffee bean. Now, Pilsner malt, which is kind of what we're seeing here in the Polliner, and we also saw in the Hofbrau, and even my own Pilsner, is about the lightest roast you can imagine. It'd be the same as getting like green coffee beans and just toasting them on the stove for a couple minutes. You know, you're not going to get much there. Whereas if you move all the way towards, like, say, Guinness territory or porters or even darker beers, they're roasting those to the point where they are like coffee. They have those dark chocolatey notes, coffee notes, so on and so forth. And if you can imagine, you know, barley is roasted anywhere between those two extremes.
Okay.
In the case of our Pilsner beer that we're drinking right now from Polliner, this is the lightest roast you can imagine. So you're going to get more of that sweetness from the malt, as opposed to our Marzens over here. They're going to be maybe the next couple of steps up in the roasting process.
I like it.
So they're going to have more of that kind of tanginess and.
Okay.
I can't
So
tell
on.
the difference between these two.
Yeah, the
very
Hofbrau and the
identical.
Polliner are very close.
They're identical. They almost taste very identical.
It's kind of like the Brewfest movie, you know? Like they stole the recipe from each other kind of thing.
Yeah. Beer Fest?
Yeah.
No, I really can't tell the difference between the two. The malt that you...
Well, there is going to be one small difference you may be able to pick out is tell me if you get a little bit of like a citrus note, or maybe is it heavier on your palate? Those are going to be the two.
Here's what I think. And maybe you know, everyone's palate's different, so we all kind of experience a beer a little differently than the next. Yeah. And that's why what's great about craft beer is there's a beer for everybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you can definitely taste this. This beer, the Polliner, even more than the Hofbrau, and I think it tastes a lot like a Mexican lager. And we already know that Mexican lager is German-based.
Yes.
Because the Germans went and settled down there and taught them how to make beer. Yeah. So I think this tastes like a Modelo, or what else? Maybe not Corona. Corona's a little light on the lighter side, but
Pacifico,
yeah. No. Similar. What do you think, Jose? I know even though you are Mexican, you're not that big of a fan of Mexican beer.
I'm not. But now that you mentioned the name, that's the weird taste that I'm getting. It tastes like a Pacifico. Mm-hmm. Both of these, that's the aftertaste that I'm getting.
Okay.
It's a Pacifico aftertaste. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Where, like, I didn't put two and two together until you mentioned it, and I drank a Pacifico last night, and I was like, wait a minute, that's that aftertaste.
Wait, hold on. All those good beers I drank are brought for you, and you drank a Pacifico.
Before you got to my house, yes.
Before, okay. All right, well, at least I saved the day.
Well, my mother-in-law, she loves Pacifico. So she would probably actually enjoy this beer.
Yeah. She
Either one of these.
if you blindfolded her and gave her some German beer, she'd probably enjoy it. It's similar, yeah.
I should do that.
Well, I was going to say, last time I was at your house, I had brought some of the Pilsner beer, and she seemed to...
She liked it.
Her and my father-in-law both loved it.
But going back to... you blindfolding your mother-in-law, is that something that you think about frequently?
Well, you know, if we really had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably say it's more on the 0 end.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Because, No, I
understand where you were going with that, because you got that sick, degenerate mind of yours. Of a child.
Well, you know, it's from hanging out with you too much.
One of the things I want to point out between the two beers here, which is why I was asking if you were picking up more of the citrus and maybe the heavier body, is the Polliner here is an Octoberfest Weizen, or wheat beer.
Yep.
So unlike the Hofbrau, which probably has no wheat in the grist or the recipe, the Polliner does.
Right.
So for my end, you know, they are very similar in scope and taste and everything. The big difference I'm picking up, though, with the Polliner, obviously, is wheat has a lot more protein in it, so it tends to create a heavier beer.
Yep.
So on your palate, it feels a little more like, I call it like liquid jello kind of quality. But you also get a little bit more of the citrus kind of overtone, because wheat has a bit of like a tangy quality to it.
Totally agree. Yeah. All right. Let's open up the 8-Toberfest.
8-Toberfest.
So, listeners, you guys know that the BeerDad enjoys. Let's listen. Oh, that was perfect. My listeners are going to enjoy that. That's going to make them thirsty. But for everybody listening, we're going to plug them because I think they do a fan-fucking-tabulous job there at 8-Bit Brewing, Murrieta, California. Putting
us on the map.
Yeah, exactly. These two fucksticks over here are from Murrieta, so if you couldn't tell, they're excited. But 8-Bit Brewing is amazing. Great food, great people. I love their staff. Matter of fact, I had a little intel on the old 8-Toberfest of when it was coming out by one of my buddies that serves the beer there. Slangs the beer and does a mighty fine job. He knows his shit. But they make really good beer. When they first opened, it was kind of hit and miss, but they've just totally stepped it up. And we started before, obviously, you guys know, when you ever listen to the BeerDad and Brewed podcast, we do a little pregame before, just to loosen up a little bit. And Jose had some Dust Bowl IPA, or Hops of Wrath, if you will, from Dust Bowl. And then we had some Raiders of the Lost Tart from 8-Bit Brewing, which Jose wasn't as fond of because he's not a big sour guy, but Josh and I both liked it and enjoyed it.
Yeah, you got that plum coming through big time.
Yeah, that was cool because I
don't like plums. Maybe that's why I don't like plums.
Well, see, I do, and I want to say that's the first time I've ever had a beer that's got plums in it.
Yeah,
it's
the only
unique.
one I couldn't think of is a buddy of mine out in the desert. He just opened up Desert Beer Company. He just did a kettle sour with plums.
Okay,
it actually came out pretty damn good.
And see, when I think of when the whole kettle sour thing started jumping off, I always thought of plums would be perfect for that shit.
Well, yeah, because it's just the right amount of sweetness. They're not really over the top. They're not tangy.
Yeah, but it provides that little poppy tart flavor. And
you know what? Maybe because as a child,
you ate a lot of plums.
No, not so much. But you know that whole 9-volt thing we were talking about earlier. I always got dared a lot to lick those type of batteries. Maybe that's it. I don't like sour.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't
Just
know.
do a tangy little
Licking
buzz
too many
on your
batteries. Yeah, it's
weird. I don't know. I had a weird childhood.
So yeah, we got a little off track there with the what we did pregame, but I just wanted to point out we were having some 8-Bit because we're having 8-Bit again. 8-Toberfest. This is their Octoberfest Marzen style. Is it Marzen or
it's a Marzen style?
Yeah,
Marzen lager.
I'm hoping it is because it doesn't have the color.
Going off the color, it's like
I know that
Octoberfest lager 5.6.
Yeah.
October. Let's look at some details here. I don't see anything about Marzen, but I'm going to venture a guess and say that this is because you get this nice orange, like amber color that's just clean and perfect. Nice little bit of carbonation, and definitely smells like it.
Yeah.
So
Prost, guys.
Prost.
Get in there, Jose.
cheers.
Ooh, yeah. I like
Translation.
that. Translation.
Yeah, say cheers.
Yeah, good job.
They did a good job for sure. Definitely German inspired beer.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and there's almost like a bit of a roasty, even smoked note on the back end.
Like it. Maybe they use smoked hops.
Or smoked malt, maybe
Smoked
just
malt.
just ever so touch of it, but definitely gives like an interesting complexity
Yeah.
to the overall thing. Like I'm getting the Marzen through and through, but
Yeah.
there's just like this little touch of smoke.
I like it. It adds some character to the beer, make it a little bit different, but
And
still traditional.
yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of traditional, a little bit of history lesson. A lot of people know like a lot of the original beers back in the day, to like boil the kettle and everything, they had to throw wooden logs and use the old school, wooden fire method. A lot of people don't realize is that smoke would eventually get into the beer. So a lot of your earlier variants of beer actually had like a smoky flavor to them. So maybe they were doing some history and thought to...
That's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, with this one, you can actually taste the smokiness towards the end. Compared to the, which one did we have? The La Quinta?
Yeah, La Quinta, which is a little bit, a lot cleaner.
I would say a lot more cleaner. You don't get that smoke taste that you were describing. But with this one, you get that lingering smoke taste at the end. But compared to the two from La Quinta to the 8-bit up front, they're both very similar up front. Yeah. But I would say what really tells the difference between the two is the aftertaste.
Yeah.
And the aftertaste with 8-bit, you really get that smoky taste. And unfortunately, for my palate, I don't like smoke taste. No. That's just me. I'm not...
See, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm
right.
I like my barbecue like any other...
Well, no, I love barbecue, but it's just...
I've seen Jose tear up some smoked stuff.
Oh,
he loves my smoker. He'll eat the shit out of that.
I don't know why, but like smoke taste type of alcohol, whether remember that Disney cruise we did, and we had that one. I think it was we were drinking whiskey or scotch. I forget what it was, but I had like that strong.
That was the whiskey tasting we did.
Yeah, it was whiskey, and it was very strong. Like
it was a Scottish whiskey,
right?
And it was smoked. And it
literally like felt like you were in a fire pit. I
compared it to an ashtray.
Right. Yeah.
It was disgusting.
It was
but remember, so the guy that did this whole whiskey, it was a pretty cool fucking experience. But the guy that did the whiskey tasting, he basically, he would give the whole history on each one and all the different companies and everything. It was really cool. It was done very well. Disney does everything
obviously
above and beyond what anybody else would do. I mean, amazing. I mean, you don't think of a whiskey tasting from Disney, right? Yeah. But the Disney Cruise Line really is designed for everybody, not just the kids. So obviously, the kids are asleep, and here's what was it? It was me, you, and John, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we did the whiskey tasting, and so he brought out all these different kinds, including some very expensive ones that were like, what did he say, like $200 a shot or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. So, but he brought that out and it was like, oh, taste it. And it was like, oh, God, it tasted like you drink ashtray. Like, like you're at a party and people are using a beer for an ashtray and then you go to take a drink of it. It was like that. I'm like, oh, my God. But he would show you how each one needed to be drank differently. So with that one, if I'm not mistaken, you took a straw with some distilled water, room temperature, and you would, cap your finger on the straw and drop a little bit of that room temperature water into your shot glass with this whiskey. And it literally made that whiskey not only drinkable, but taste amazing. It was weird.
Opened it up.
Yeah, I was like, wow, like, I didn't know this because I'm, for the longest time, I've just been a Jameson guy and I've never really liked other whiskey. I got to be careful with whiskey because we talked about this rye. I'm a little allergic to rye, so certain ones can get me pretty bad. And but the whiskeys that we tried, it was like some of them I wouldn't like, but if he told you have to drink it this certain way, like whether it be on the rocks, straight up, or mixed with half water, half whiskey, or just the drop of water, and he knew his shit. And that whiskey, like he said, it tasted like damn ashtray, and I didn't want anything to do with it at first. And then when we did that, I was like, wow, this is actually drinkable, and I like it. That was weird. I didn't know.
No, like it's anything that's like smoked.
Yeah, just not your cup of tea there.
Alcohol wise, not my tea. Now, obviously, when we smoke barbecue here at your house with your smoker that you have here, that's totally different. Or we're using a Traeger and we're using type of pellets. Obviously, the meat tastes amazing. But when it comes to liquid alcohol,
in case you guys were wondering, Jose likes the taste of my meat.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very good. You tenderize it.
We got that recorded.
It's on a recorded line. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It just tastes
It's
good.
Nothing that people don't already know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you because I know a couple months ago I had brought over a smoked lager that I did. And I was curious if that held the same. Because I remember, I don't think you like that one either.
No,
actually, yeah.
I'm very particular with smoke. And
okay.
This one's I would say tolerable.
I was going to say, this is very, very subtle.
Yeah.
It's
very
like almost non-existent.
It's more towards the end, but like again, everybody palates here is different.
Yeah.
Me, I just pick up the smoke a little bit more, so I would say it's. I
You
get
have
more
a sensitivity.
to the smoke, I guess.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
I'm the
And
same
it's
way
just-
with certain things.
Yeah, the aftertaste for me is just smoke.
Yeah.
I don't have a different aftertaste behind it.
Now I know Mr. Craig. You guys met him on episode 1. He's working on his brewery, and actually some good news. He is this week supposed to be meeting with licensing and stuff like that. So he's almost there. He's in the home stretch for the Bearded Beaver Man Brew House in Missouri. He's working on the final touches. But I know a lot of the beers he's been making they've used smoke. Was it barley?
It's basically you're taking your traditional grain, your barley malt, also known as 2-row or 6-row, or even the Pilsner malt, like the Pilsners here. Yeah. And they basically just almost like you're doing barbecue. You get your oak chips or your cherry wood chips. You soak them in water, and you just do a pan of the malt. And just let the smoke just kind of cook them a little bit. Yeah. And then once you mill them and use them,
he's been using smoke in some of his a lot of his recipes, because I've been getting hundreds of Snapchats from the fellers back there in Missouri, as I would say, and I want to say the beer you guys had, the Nutty Giggles, I want to say they might have used smoke on that too, but I don't remember. I could be wrong.
I was going to say I don't remember picking up any hints of it on that one.
That was a good beer that they made, but I'm wishing nothing but the best to Mr. Craig back in Missouri. Belching. The Bearded Beaver Man Brew House coming soon.
Do you need me to drink that drink for you?
No, I'm good.
Obviously.
I'm good.
You're mixing your words.
Am I? Yeah. All right. So, 8-Bit Brewing, what do you think?
I like it.
Well, we had it the other night, Jose, when we went to Chris's retirement party.
You did.
It was good. Did you like it better off the tap or in the can?
I would say obviously off the tap.
Off the tap.
It just feels so. Off the tap, I didn't get the smoke taste.
Okay.
In the bottle, I got the smoke taste. I don't know, maybe because it was sealed and carbonated and it was stored. Maybe the fluctuation of the temperature of just you moving it from point A to point B. Yeah. But I got more of a stronger taste of smoke in the bottle than I did off the tap. Can.
Yeah.
Can-wise, I got more smoke taste afterwards. Obviously there, I didn't get the smoke taste, and I enjoyed it more at the brewery.
Okay. Fair enough.
So that's my description behind it.
Some people will tend to gravitate more towards they like it off the tap better.
Well, the thing, if it helps for novice listeners here, is a lot of times beers you're going to get in the keg or off tap, as they say, still have a lot of live yeast in suspension. Mm-hmm. So that beer is still changing. It's still modifying itself. It's still, going to be a lot different than when you get in the can. The can is almost like if they were to take that keg at that particular point in time and put it in the can and seal it, you're basically getting a snapshot of where that beer is in its transition.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to do an interesting experiment for yourself, look at a beer that they can at the beginning and maybe can it towards the end. Mm-hmm. And if they can it anywhere between, because you're going to get a different beer throughout the course of that beer's life.
Right.
Because of that live yeast that's in suspension.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's just my my opinion between the two. Off the tap, from what I remember, I don't remember having a smoke taste. This one really does come with a smoke taste. Again, from the transition that you were talking about. Mm-hmm. I'm not an expert. I don't look up any of this stuff. I like to stay very amateur behind it. I don't like to be very professional.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure from your listeners, some of your people are like me. We just like to enjoy beer. We like to drink it.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, I don't like to do the research, but I have picked up plenty of knowledge of just drinking with the people that I surround myself with. And I compare it. I start comparing it with other things. And when other people bring up other things like Pacifico, and I'm like, oh, wait, I can compare it to that now, and I'm like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So, staying as a novice, smoke in the can and straight off the tap, a little bit more enjoyable.
Okay.
And I can tell you as a home brewer, guys like yourself, Jose, this is kind of this is my reason for making beer.
What?
Because, I can make a beer that, all the aficionados are going to just crave and go gaga over. But at the end of the day, if I actually decide to make that transition into a professional brewery, it's going to be you guys are buying the beer.
Yeah.
I want this beer to be enjoyable by everyone across the spectrum.
Absolutely. And that goes across the board for anybody listening that's thinking about starting a brewery or, Mr. Craig.
Yep.
You have to have enjoyable beers. You can't just be selfish and make, the beers that you like and the beers that you think are just, the hottest thing going. You have to make a...
Hazy IPAs.
Jose's not a fan of the hazy IPA. BeerDad likes the hazy IPA, but that's okay. That's why they have craft beer, because there's something for everybody. Yeah. But
I like them.
Yeah, you just don't like it when there's fruit.
It's like people saying, keto diet. It's like the new thing. It's like, come on, guys.
No, it's not. So real quick, and this is going back to I think episode 1. The whole hazy IPA thing that's how they make them back east. Okay,
I know.
And you're just used to West Coast style IPA. America. Yeah, well, it's not going to be America very much longer if our governor keeps it up.
Well, 3 states, whatever.
Anyways, but yeah, that's their style of beer back east, and we didn't traditionally get to have it here until recently. It's just popped off, and all the breweries out here are taking notice. Like, wow, people are like making all these trades, and they're traveling back east just so that they can get these, hazies, and so now all the breweries out here are starting to double up on that.
It's just filtered more, right? That's really the difference.
No, actually, unfiltered.
It's unfiltered, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, as we talked about in the first episode, there's a difference between hazy and unfiltered.
Right. Or clean or unclean.
Unfiltered, in a nutshell, is basically they didn't do anything. They didn't run it through a filter. They just let it be,
Right.
Now, the problem with unfiltered is eventually that may become a clean beer just through the refrigeration process or lagering. Whereas the hazy, they actually put in like unmalted wheat or unmalted oats, which have so much protein that all that haziness stays in suspension. It never clears up. You can make that thing as cold as a popsicle, and it's not going to clear up. It's supposed to stay in suspension. So that's really the difference between them.
Right. It looks more dirty when you pour it in the glass compared to your...
Of course, a little interesting side note with both hazy and unfiltered is that beer will age... Actually, no, I take that back. Unfiltered, the beer will age better. Unfiltered. Hazy's for some weird...
Gotta drink them.
Yeah, you gotta drink them fresh because they will not age for...
So just to compare...
Yes.
Unfiltered, you're saying is more hazy.
They're both hazy.
Right. But like, let's compare it to St. Orchard, hazy IPA. I think we've all had here. And compare it to Stone Ruination, the traditional one. To the listeners, which one would you consider unfiltered and which one would you consider filtered?
Well, Ruination would be filtered.
Okay. And that's the only reason why, just because when I first started learning about hazy IPAs, people started talking about unfiltered and filtered, and they just went into the description behind it, and I was like, wait, which one are you talking about? So, I mean,
basically,
people can pick it up a little bit faster.
Easiest way to look at it is if you can see through your beer, it is filtered.
Yeah.
If you can't see through your beer,
like that,
it's unfiltered.
That beer we had last night for your birthday. By the way, listeners, let's wish Mr. Jose here a happy 40th birthday.
I love being 40. You know why I love being 40? Because I now have entered this Silver Fox era.
He's not really 40. He's close. He's
I'm pretty close to 40.
He's in his mid-30s now. But
I mean, I'm more excited to be more into the 40s just because it's like now Silver Fox. It's a new term being used by...
well, they say 40's the new 20, and you got all these young ladies that are into the whole daddy thing.
Yeah, it's called Generation Z. Z, I think
Yeah.
that's what they're calling them, and they're really into that silver fox. That's where I really learned that term. My
You're not going
sister-
to dye your hair gray, are you?
No, I already have gray coming in, bro. Look right here. If you really look, there's already gray.
You got what? 18 kids?
Like 22 now.
22,
I forget,
yeah.
dude. I have a lot of kids.
You're like a rabbit.
I know.
Yeah, he did get snipped though.
That's
so
why I had to get cut. I was like a rabbit.
That's a good thing. But apparently,
Going into your 40s, you don't want.
apparently you
don't want
rubbed
to
off on me. You know, so I got.
Well, I mean, you're close to 50.
I gotta watch that close to 50. I'm like 2 years older than Jose. Don't listen to this guy.
We're both close to 40. But either way, we're like more like
Is that like
aging.
Is that real years or perceived years?
I don't know. It's hard to tell nowadays.
Yeah.
50 feels like it's 40.
Yeah, it's the new 40.
It's the new 40. Yeah,
Yep.
50 feels like the new 40.
All right. So
Would you like to finish with what I am dubbing my schnitzel pills?
yeah,
All right.
that's what I was gonna say. Let's pour some schnitzel pills. And for the schnitzel pills, I feel like we need to do something traditional.
Yep.
And let's get this open, and then I'll have you pour so I can explain what's going to happen here on the BeerDad and Brewed podcast. We're keeping it Octoberfest. Got a little off track there, but it's all good stuff because it's all beer related. Mm-hmm. But all right, at Octoberfest, I'm going to paint a picture for our listeners here. Paint a picture for Jose and Josh. We are in a tent. We are with, 8 to 12,000 people in a tent. We've got music pumping. We got the Hoompa band playing. We've got liters of beer pouring just like it's just never ending. We've got pretzels. We've got chicken. We've got sauerkraut. We've got sausages. We've got beautiful women all over the place serving these beers.
Stout, beautiful woman.
Yes, yeah. German women are very beautiful. But what happens is you get in these tents and you tend to stay at your table for a very long time and you drink all day. So you got to pass the time. So passing the time means people like to play games. And, I thought it'd be nice if we kind of try to play a little game. I don't have cards, so we can't play the horse race game that they like to play over there, but I think we're just going to do a simple shotgun style beer drinking game here. So we have the schnitzel pills ready, and it's all lined up. So the three of us are going to do a little drinking game.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like I've painted the picture. Where we're at. We're in this tent. We're having a good time. We've been sitting here for 7 hours. We're probably on our 8th, 9th liter of beer.
And I've already gone to the what do we call it?
Water closet.
Water closet.
Water closet. Jose needed the water closet really bad.
Yeah.
So he's already broke the seal. So when you play games, you have to have Oompa music playing. So we're just going to down our beers shotgun style. We'll start with Josh, hit Jose, and then hit me. But we got to have something playing festive.
Wait, are we timing each other?
So let's do this.
Chicken dance style.
First,
Wait, let me time Josh. See how long it takes.
Okay.
wait. First, let's get a Prost in before we do this. Prost.
Cheers. Wait.
And go.
Go.
Ziggy zaggy, oi, oi, oi.
Oh man. Yeah.
That was pretty good. I don't even think Josh blinked. That beer was gone.
You did it in 3.32 seconds.
All right, come on, keep it going.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Here, I'll get you on my end here.
Oh wait. 3.9.
3.0. All right.
You tell me when.
And go.
He turned the cup. It's Beer Fest.
Yeah, 2.2, man.
Ready?
Oh, I'm going to reset that. And go. Shit. Oh,
1.95.
1.95. All right.
Well, as we all know, you know how to relax the throat.
I hope you enjoyed the chicken dance, by the way.
I didn't really flap my feathers. I just got to enjoy you really
Open
up.
the throat.
open up that throat in the most magical way possible.
That was great. Yeah, I wanted to throw that in. I told you guys we'd play a little game. I wanted to have more planned, but there's so much time that you can do.
This one up.
All right.
Yeah.
So much time that you can do. Yeah, pour that in there. So this is some more of Josh's beer.
We're gonna do my birthday beer next. It's a little bit off topic, but
Yeah.
I think it's fair.
We'll crack that open too. But we're gonna drink some German beers here and enjoy our Oktoberfest. But I feel like we need some more German music for that. So with that being said, I think Josh knows where I'm going here.
Oh yeah.
What's that one song?
Is it that song? Well, I'm hoping it's that song.
Where it began, I can't begin to know it,
Yes.
but then I know
You can see Jose, he's starting to sing. It's like he doesn't want to.
No,
but
it's hard. You can't pick that song.
but it's coming.
Reminds me when I used to drink down in TV.
It's coming though.
Oh man.
Yep. You don't know the lyrics. You know the chorus.
Come on, Jose. This is the best part. Hands touching hands, reaching out, touching me,
It's
touching you. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. So good, so good. Oh man, I love it.
All right, so do the honors. It's your birthday beer.
That takes me back 40 years.
Is that how you were conceived?
Oh no. No, I'm probably telling my age here, but you guys ever watch the movie what's that, Beautiful Girls? Came out like 92, I want to say, 93.
Beautiful girls.
Yeah. Oh man, great movie. If you ever get the chance to watch it, you probably can only watch it on VHS. That's how old it is. This song's on there, and it just takes me back to that. So anytime I sing the song and the bars, it took me back to that movie. I'm gonna actually Google what year Beautiful Girls came out. I actually have that movie because I love that movie. It's a girl movie. I will say it's more of a girl male movie. I don't know.
Chick flick.
Chick flick?
I don't know. Maybe not back then. I was a child when I watched it.
Kid chick flick?
Okay. Had Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, yeah, that's not really chick flick, is it?
This takes me back, guys. So
We used to sell RVs.
no. No, this band is actually a German Oompa band that played at Oktoberfest
Really?
while we were there. Yeah,
Nice.
that's where I got this music from. And
Thankfully, it's not that old. 96.
96.
Yeah, it's not that old. I thought it was older. I thought it was like 90, 91, 92. But it's 96.
All right, well,
You've opened champagne
we
before, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, same.
Am I doing like, Justin's number one or just...
Oh, I'd like to drink it. But
Jose's popping. Try to get that by the microphone so they can hear that. We're having some birthday beer.
Turn off the music. And I can probably get that. Up or
all
something.
right, fade out.
Having a little trouble there? Ooh, yeah, that was a
there
nice
it is.
pop.
That was a nice spot.
That's
There you
nice.
go. Good.
Should have used sword. Signed by like, ooh.
You got a little foam. Pour it.
Yeah, get ready.
It's like
Look at that smoke.
doing the bottle top. There you go.
So anyways, that last little ditty, like I said, those guys play at Oktoberfest, usually in the Hofbrauhaus. Man,
Look how
they
dark that is.
They play.
Well, it's
So
not that
literally, we were in the Hofbrauhaus, standing on top of tables, dancing to music that we know.
Nice.
So it's not just all German music you don't know. You still have fun with the German music, but they play stuff for the Americans. And we were dancing to, like, believe it or not, Oompa versions of Blink 182, Green Day, Metallica, like crazy. And so you know these songs, but they sound amazing. So I wanted to throw that in there. Brings memories.
Well, thank you for that sharing.
Thought we would sing along. So let's keep it a little traditional here and go back to the music.
For those who want to know, we are drinking Old Stock Ale. Josh has said this has been aging since the time that he bought it, which is the year that it's on the bottle. The year on the bottle is 2013.
So this is a 6-year-old aged beer. I thought would be a perfect addition.
Right. We're looking...
That's strong.
It's going to be a little strong.
That is strong.
So age in a bourbon barrel.
Yeah,
So that's,
bourbon barrel aged. So,
we're going to have that nice scent behind it.
Yeah.
By percentage-wise, let's see. It's not there.
No, it should be.
It's more on the bottle.
What the fuck is it? I just
Well, let's
other side. Other
yeah,
side.
no, it's not on the other side. Oh, here we go. 14.1%.
There it is. Okay.
14.
Shit.
So this is more like a barley wine then.
This is
Pretty close.
Pretty close to a barley wine.
It's
compared to like
barley
whatever-
wine's got to be over 16.
9.
9. So it would fall under the category of
And
barley wine, but there's got to be
For our
other
German
categories.
people, it's not no. It's
Not 9.
It's 9.
It's not 9, no, but you know.
All right.
So
I just took a whiff of this stuff, and I think I may have almost fell out of my chair. Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty stiff.
So the only other color that I've seen like this would be Chimay. Blue.
Yeah. This is. Think of this as a variation of that.
You know what
Okay.
this looks like?
So Belgian style.
This isn't Belgian.
Okay.
This is more. I guess closest thing I can think of would be maybe an English style or European.
Okay.
Other European style. But it's got kind of in the same parameters. You're probably going to get some of those dark fruit flavors. You're going to get kind of
Like
an
grape?
age. Not great. More like
Hopefully not plum.
maybe a little plum, but
We'll see.
all right. Well, you tell
this
me what you
is,
think.
Prost and happy birthday, sir.
Yes.
Like I say every episode, drink responsibly, drink local, call Uber, whatever you got to do. But enjoy your friends, enjoy your company, and I hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to finish up having some of this to celebrate my boy Jose here. So Prost.
All right. Prost.
Cheers.
Salud.
All right.